The world's largest ship was first cut in half and welded back together, and a few years later, it was torn apart by missiles from an Iraqi fighter jet. Today, we're talking about a vessel so enormous it couldn't physically pass through any major shipping canal on Earth, yet it was operated by just 40 people, hauling $200 million worth of crude oil in a single trip. This sounds like a crazy movie script, but trust me, every word of it is true. Yeah, you heard that right. Cut in half, then a direct hit during wartime. The life of this leviathan was defined by extremes so insane they're almost impossible to believe. And here's the thing that really blows your mind. The largest self-propelled object ever built by human hands was run by a tiny crew. Just 40 sailors. Think about that for a second. To get from one end of the deck to the other, the crew had to ride bicycles. No joke. Stop and picture that for a moment. You're on a ship so vast it has its own internal road system, and your commute to work is a bicycle ride. The sheer absurdity of it. This wasn't a vessel, it was a floating nation-state. So why did anyone build something this massive? Simple. Money. Enormous money. In a single voyage, this titan could carry oil worth a staggering $200 million. It was the age of the oil boom. Stakes were sky high, and the economy was demanding the impossible. To really feel this story, you need to understand the scale, and honestly, it gives you a mild case of megalophobia. The ship, then called SeaWise Giant, was 458.5 meters long. Let me put that in terms you can actually picture. Stood on its end, it would be taller than the Empire State Building. Taller than the Eiffel Tower, taller than the Chrysler Building, in fact, taller than almost anything humans have ever stacked on dry land. And this thing was moving through the ocean. And the deck, over 31,000 square meters. That's 4 full-size football fields, floating. As for stopping, if the captain ordered a full stop at max speed, the braking distance was around 9 kilometers. But here's what's truly terrifying. 3.5 centimeters. Just 3.5 centimeters of steel plating separated over 500,000 tons of crude oil from the open ocean. At this scale, that wall was thinner than an eggshell. In fact, the structure held together largely because of the pressure of the oil pushing outward from inside. Insane, right? And the strangest part, this record breaker was never supposed to exist. In 1974, a Greek shipping magnate ordered a very large vessel, but during trials, the hull vibrated violently in reverse. The client refused delivery and soon went bankrupt. So this massive nameless hull just sat rusting at a Japanese shipyard until one ambitious buyer from Hong Kong came along. Shipping tycoon C.Y. Tung decided that merely huge wasn't enough. He wanted the absolute record. He ordered what engineers called a jumboization. Sounds technical, Berkshire, but what they actually did was cut the finished ship in half, pull the two halves apart, and weld a brand new section in between, and that's the moment SeaWise Giant was born. Cut in half, stretched, rewelded, relaunched. Nobody wanted it, and yet here it was, the undisputed king of the seas. The kind of ship that makes you believe anything is possible. Now we reach the turning point, where grand ambitions collide with the brutality of geopolitics. May 1988. The Iran-Iraq war is raging. Our tanker, loaded to the brim with Iranian oil, is anchored near Larak Island. Then Iraqi fighter jets appear in the sky. Target acquired, Exocet anti-ship missiles launched. The hit was devastating. According to reports from the time, the ship caught fire completely out of control. Sparks ignited the leaking oil, and the ocean itself became a raging sea of flame. The crew had to abandon ship immediately. The pride of the world's fleet burned from within, settled onto the shallows, and for months sat as the largest shipwreck on the planet. The ship that took years to build survived a bankruptcy, got cut in half, and rebuilt. Now just a gutted shell on the ocean floor. Some stories end quietly. This one ended in fire. Seems like the end, right? Could any ship survive being consumed by its own burning cargo? It was officially declared a total loss. Restoring this scorched heap of metal made no economic sense whatsoever. The story should have ended right there. But then, Norwegian investors stepped in, driven honestly more by stubbornness and the desire to own the world's largest ship than by any real logic. They bought the charred wreck at scrap metal prices. The hull was towed to Singapore. An unthinkable salvage operation began. 3,700 tons of new steel were needed just to patch the shattered hull. And against all logic, the ship went back to sea. You know, at this point, you stop thinking of it as a machine. It feels like a character, a living thing with an extraordinary fate. It was reborn, changed names, changed owners. First SeaWise Giant, then risen from the ashes, Happy Giant, then Jahre Viking sailing on as if daring common sense to stop it. But time spares no one, not even titans. In the early 2000s, the ship, now called Nevis, lost its freedom to roam forever. The tanker born to conquer the open ocean was converted into a stationary floating storage unit off the coast of Qatar. Its massive engines were shut down permanently. What happened? The world simply changed. New strict environmental laws came into force. Single-hull tankers were banned over the risk of oil spills, and fuel prices went through the roof. Our giant was trapped, too big and too costly to go anywhere, but still too valuable a mass of metal to simply scrap. The mightiest ship ever built, and it couldn't move, couldn't earn, couldn't do the one thing it was made for. And so we arrive at the quiet, inevitable, and honestly rather melancholy ending. December 2009. Under its final name, Mont, the giant sets sail for India, to the shores of Alang, the world's largest shipbreaking yard. The vessel runs itself aground. Because of its staggering size, tens of thousands of workers spend an entire year cutting this leviathan apart, piece by piece, into scrap. So what remains today of the largest moving object ever created by humanity? A single artifact, a 36-ton anchor. It sits quietly outside a maritime museum in Hong Kong, the only surviving relic of that extraordinary, impossible era. With its passing, an entire age of supertankers came to an end. No ship of this size has been built since, and most likely none ever will be. Not because engineers forgot how to build big, but because staring at this chaotic, incredible story, we finally asked the right question. Yes, we can build something this colossal, but should we? If this story got you, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.